Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajana Ranjana Jamunatira Banachariya Yamunatira Banachariya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajana Ranjana Yamunatira Banachariya Yamunatira Banachariya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nasta Prayesha Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Dravido Prabhu Haribo, pass him the mic. Would you like to say the translation to those two verses? Yeah, but I would like to chant it once, then we did the word by word translation, everything purport, no? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Swastiastu Vishvasya Kala Prasidatam. Dhyayantu Bhutani Shivam Mitodiya. Manascha Bhadram bhajatād adhokṣaje. Aveshyatam namatirapi haituki. Swasti astu vishvasya kala prasidatam. Dhyayantu bhutani shivam mitodiya. Manascha bhadram bhajatād adhokṣaje. Aveshyatam no matir api haituki.
Anyone in Zoom land want to chant? Okay, sorry. Okay.
Word by word.
Swasti,
Swasti,
auspiciousness.
auspiciousness.
Astu,
Astu,
let there be.
let there be.
Vishvasya,
Vishvasya,
of the entire universe.
of the entire universe.
Kalaha,
Kalaha,
the envious.
the envious.
Almost everyone.
Almost everyone.
Prasidatam,
Prasidatam,
let them be pacified.
let them be pacified.
Dhyayantu,
Dhyayantu,
let them consider.
let them consider.
Bhutani,
Bhutani,
all the living entities.
all the living entities.
Shivam,
Shivam,
auspiciousness.
auspiciousness.
Mitaha,
Mitaha,
mutual.
mutual.
Diya,
Diya,
by their intelligence.
by their intelligence.
Manaha,
Manaha,
the mind.
the mind.
Cha,
Cha,
and.
and.
Bhadram,
Bhadram,
calmness.
calmness.
Bhajatād,
Bhajatād,
let it experience.
let it experience.
Adhokṣaje,
Adhokṣaje,
in the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
who is beyond the perception of mind, intelligence, and senses.
who is beyond the perception of mind, intelligence, and senses.
Aveshyatam,
Aveshyatam,
let it be absorbed.
let it be absorbed.
Naha,
Naha,
our.
our.
Matihi,
Matihi,
intelligence.
intelligence.
Api,
Api,
indeed.
indeed.
Ahayituki,
Ahaituki,
without any motive.
without any motive.
Go on.
Yes, please.
May there be good fortune throughout the universe, and may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing Bhakti Yoga, for by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Lord Sri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thought of Him. Purport. The following verse describes a Vaishnav. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Just like a desire tree, a Vaishnav can fulfill all the desires of anyone who takes shelter of his lotus feet. Prahlada Maharaja is a typical Vaishnav. He prays not for himself, but for all living entities, the gentle, the envious, and the mischievous. He always thought of the welfare of mischievous persons like his father, Hiranyakashipu. Prahlada Maharaj did not ask for anything for himself. Rather, he prayed for the Lord to excuse his demoniac father. This is the attitude of a Vaishnav, who always thinks of the welfare of the entire universe. Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavat Dharma are meant for persons who are completely free of envy. Paramanirmatsaranam. Therefore, Prahlada Maharaj prays in this verse, Kalak Pasidatam. May all the envious persons be pacified. The material world is full of envious persons, but if one frees himself of envy, he becomes liberal in his social dealings and can think of others' welfare. Anyone who takes up Krishna consciousness and engages himself completely in the service of the Lord cleanses his mind of all envy. Manashtabhadram bhajatād adhokṣaje. Therefore, we should pray to Lord Nrsingadev to sit in our hearts. We should pray, Bahir Nrsimho Vidihe Nrsimha. Let Lord Nrsingadev sit in the core of my heart, killing all my bad propensities. Let my mind become clean, so that I may peacefully worship the Lord and bring peace to the entire world. Srila Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur has given us a very fine purport in this regard. Whenever one offers a prayer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one always requests some benediction from Him. Even pure Nishkama devotees pray for some benediction as instructed by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Shikshastika. We can chant together. Ainandatanu jikinkaram patitam mam vishame babambodho kripaya tavapad pankaja sitaduli sadrishang vichintaya. O son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from the ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. In another prayer, Lord Chaitanya says, we can chant, Mama janmani janmanishware bhavata bhaktadahaytuki tvahi. Life after life, kindly let me have unalloyed love and devotion at your Lordship's lotus feet. When Prahlada Maharaj chants Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya, he prays for a benediction from the Lord. But because he is also an exalted Vaishnava, he wants nothing for his personal sense gratification. The first desire expressed in his prayer is Svasyastu Vishvasya. Let there be good fortune throughout the entire universe. Prahlada Maharaj thus requested the Lord to be merciful to everyone, including his father, a most envious person. According to Chanakya Pandit, there are two kinds of envious living entities. One is a snake, and the other is the man like Hiranyakashipu, who is by nature envious of everyone, even of his father or son. Hiranyakashipu was envious of his little son Prahlada, but Prahlada Maharaj asked a benediction for the benefit of his father. Hiranyakashipu was very envious of devotees, but Prahlada wished that his father and other demons like him would give up their envious nature by the grace of the Lord and stop harassing the devotees. Kalak pasidatam. The difficulty is that the kala, envious living entity, is rarely pacified. One kind of kala, the snake, can be pacified simply by mantras or by the action of a particular herb. Mantraushadi vashak sarpa kalakena nivaryate. An envious person, however, cannot be pacified by any means. Therefore, Prahlada Maharaj prays that all envious persons may undergo a change of heart and think of the welfare of others. If the Krishna consciousness movement spreads all over the world, and if by the grace of Krishna everyone accepts it, the thinking of envious people will change, Everyone will think of the welfare of others. Therefore, Prahlada Maharaj prays, Shivam mito diya. In material activities, everyone is envious of others, but in Krishna consciousness, no one is envious of anyone else. Everyone thinks of the welfare of others. Therefore, Prahlada Maharaj prays that everyone's mind may become gentle by being fixed at the lotus feet of Krishna, bhajatād adhokṣaje. As indicated elsewhere in Srimad Bhagavatam, Savai Manak Krishna Padara Vindayo, and as advised by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, Manmana Bhavamad Bhakta, one should constantly think of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Then one's mind will certainly be cleansed, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Materialists always think of the sense gratification, but Prahlada Maharaj prays that the Lord's mercy will change their minds and they will stop thinking of sense gratification. If they think of Krishna always, everything will be all right. Some people argue that if everyone thought of Krishna in that way, then the whole universe would be vacated because everyone would go back home, back to Godhead. However, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that this is impossible because the living entities are innumerable. If one set of living entities is actually delivered by the Krishna consciousness movement, another set will fill the entire universe. Haribol.
Haribol. Thank you, Ravida Prabhu. Om Magyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual master Srila Prabhupada opens my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my humble respectful obeisance unto him. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. May there be good fortune throughout the universe, and may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing Bhakti Yoga, for by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Lord Sri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thought of Him. This is the nature of a pure Vaishnava. He always thinks of the welfare of others. So Prahlada Maharaj, a great pure devotee of the Lord, he's asking Lord Nrsimhadev that all envious people throughout the universe be pacified by accepting Bhakti Yoga, devotional service. Because there is no other way to overcome or bad qualities like enviousness and hatred and, deceit and cheating and all these bad things, unless we take to Krishna consciousness. That's the only remedy for all those bad things that everybody has, When Prabhupada visited South America, Venezuela, the first day he arrived in his speech, he said that in Kali Yuga, the demon and the devotee are living in the same body. They used to live in different planets, then the same planet, and in Kali Yuga, in the same body. But Lord Chaitanya, if he will have come to kill demons like Lord Krishna did, practically speaking, nobody will be left in Kali Yuga. So Lord Chaitanya came to kill the evil mentality of the people through this Harinam Sankirtan, this chanting of the holy names of the Lord. So Kali Yuga is full of faults and full of so much enviousness and competitiveness and hatred and violence and so many bad things. But there is only one very good thing. If people take to the chanting of the names of the Lord, they can be delivered. They can achieve all auspiciousness in their life. They can overcome their enviousness of each other, and they can desire the welfare of everyone, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, one of his prayers, he explained the envious mentality of a materialistic person. He said, when I see others happy, I feel sad. When I see others suffering, I enjoy. So that's the envious mentality. Can't tolerate seeing other people happy. Paradukka dukhi, that's the quality of a Vaishnava. He feels sorry when see others suffering. He doesn't like to see anybody suffering. So Prahlada Maharaj, he knew his father was very envious of all the devotees and of the Lord himself. Still he was praying for his liberation. He was praying to Lord Nrsimha, please deliver him. So that's the heart of a Vaishnava. He never keep grudges against anyone. Once Prabhupada was giving a lecture in a big hall actually in London. And one man stood up and started insulting Prabhupada. He was, blaspheming him. Devotees, of course, immediately went to pull him out of the hall, But Prabhupada forbade them. No, leave him alone. The man, kept doing that, and then he sat down. And Prabhupada continued the lecture. Like nothing happened. After the lecture, the devotee asked Prabhupada, why you didn't allow us to take him out? He was, disturbing, was offending you. Prabhupada said, that's all right. Maybe in his past life, I did something to him, and he's now retaliating, so I have to be tolerant, Well, that's a great example for all of us, Like yesterday at the home program, Sangeeta Mataji, after the program, she was asking me some questions, and one of the questions was how not to get angry at materialistic people who could be friends, family, whatever, but sometimes they act very materialistic. So I told her, be angry at their ignorance, not at them. It's only due to their ignorance they are acting or speaking in this bad way, One should tolerate if it's one's honor being criticized, one's person is being, But if other Vaishnavas are insulted, or Krishna himself, we should not be tolerant. We should become like fire, angry. We should, immediately say, you're wrong, and try to defend the devotees and Krishna and leave the place in an angry mood. If one doesn't react, remain silent, one becomes part of the offense. One is also an offender if he doesn't do anything about it. Just keep his mouth shut. So, if you don't say anything, means you also agree. That's the meaning of keeping silent. But if yourself is being criticized or offended, you tolerate. That's the lesson given by Lord Chaitanya himself. When Lord Nityananda was insulted and violently attacked by Madai, Jagai Madai, he tolerated. He said, doesn't matter that you struck me, but please chant the names of the Lord. But when Lord Chaitanya came, he didn't tolerate. He immediately was calling his Sudarshan Chakra this to kill them, chop up their heads. Lord Nityananda has to remind him, my Lord, in this incarnation you didn't come to kill the demon, you came to redeem them, not to kill them, And both fell at the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya asking forgiveness. And Lord Chaitanya said, I will forgive Jagai, but not Madai. Because Jagai stopped the hand of his brother when he wanted to strike twice by Nityananda. So I will forgive him. But Madai, since he wanted to attack my Nityananda twice, I will not forgive him. So Jagai said, my dear Lord, we are both big sinner the same, we are. I'm the same sinner as my brother. If you forgive me, please forgive him too. And Nityananda Prabhu also asked, please forgive him. So he forgave them with the condition that they will never again commit offenses and sinful activities. With that promise, he forgave them. So if somebody really repented, he doesn't continue doing those things. And also anger can be used in the service of the Lord. An perfect example is Hanuman, Lord Ramchandra asked him just to deliver a message to Sita Devi and ring, to prove that he is a messenger. But he didn't just do that. He burned all the city of Lanka, to ashes. He used this anger, to please the Lord. And that's actual humbleness. That's actual humbleness. To show your anger at those enemies of the Lord, that's real humbleness, because you consider yourself just a humble servant of the Lord, First, Hanuman let himself to be tied up with a rope, and he was presented to Ravana as an offender because he was destroying one garden of a demon or something. And Ravana said, "He's just a monkey, monkeys are mischievous, So what can you do, This reminds me one pastime of Prabhupada in Vrindavan. One of the monkeys took one of his shoe, And Prabhupada told the servant Shutakirti, go get back the shoe, offer the monkey a sweet, and get back the shoe. Exchange, Do it. Shutakirti went with the sweet in the hand, offering the monkey, With the other hand, he's asking for the shoe. But the monkey was faster than him. He took the sweet and didn't give the shoe. Prabhupada said, try again. He tried like three, 4 times without success. The monkey was too fast for him, Finally, the monkey climbed the tree and was chewing on the shoe, And when he got tired of it, he threw it away. Prabhupada said, go bring the shoe. And the shoe has the mark of the teeth of the monkey on, Still Prabhupada used it for some time. Once Shutakirti said that he saw Prabhupada arguing with a monkey. They were like having a talk, He was surprised. He was in shock. Prabhupada, you were talking to a monkey? He said. I was telling him, don't disturb anymore, go away from here. Otherwise, I will beat you up. Krishna was a perfect linguistic. He knew how to talk not just with human and any language, but even with animals. He will have conversations. He knew the language of all of them. So it seemed that Prabhupada knew the language of the monkeys. Prabhupada, I don't know if he said that or somebody else said that his disciples were like monkeys. But Prabhupada said, well, Lord Ramchandra took the help of a monkey to build the bridge. So I'm engaging them in devotional service. And by doing that, they will become purified, When Lord Ramachandra was building the bridge, he asked Hanuman, go bring some big mountain so we can finish faster this bridge, So Hanuman arrived in Vrindavan and he saw Govardhan. He said, if I take this mountain, we'll finish immediately the bridge. So he tried to lift it, but could not. Must be very powerful personality, So he said, I must worship the mountain first. So he did parikrama around the mountain, circumambulation, and then pray, please come with me. I need you for the service of my Lord Ramchandra. Govardhan said, yes, I want to serve my Lord too. Please take me. And when he started lifting Govardhan, the voice of Lord Ramachandra was heard in the sky. Hanuman, we finished the bridge. But don't bring any more mountains. No needed. And Govardhan was lamenting, oh no, I lost my opportunity to serve my Lord. He was crying. And Ramchandra assured him, no, be patient. When I come and at the end of Dwapar Yuga, you will do a lot of service for me. And of course, Govardhan, Shri Radharani, she called Govardhan Haridasa Varyo, the best servant of Lord Hari. He was providing grass for the cows, clear water, spring water for humans and animals, fruits, vegetables, caves, for when it's too hot or raining, we could take shelter in the caves. Different varieties of minerals and jewels and valuable stones too. Also is considered the best of the servant of Lord Hari. So that's why the devotee collects sometime stones from Govardhan and worship, as the greatest devotee, or the Lord himself, since the Lord took the form of Govardhan. Can be either the Lord himself or the servant of the Lord. Can be worshipped in either way. So it's very interesting that Prahlada Maharaj didn't ask anything for himself. He was asked, all his praise is for the welfare of others. He told the Lord, for myself I have no anxiety. I am fully satisfied just by engaging in your loving devotional service. My only anxiety is those rascals who's avoiding your devotional service, envious of each other, fighting each other all the time. It's the nature of this world. We've seen through history so many wars, so many problems, violence. Why? Because people envious of each other. So Chanakya Pandit said it's easy to control an envious snake. Snakes are considered envious because without a reason can bite somebody and harm people. And an envious person is more dangerous than a snake because snake can be controlled through mantras and herbs, but an envious person is very difficult to change his mind. Prabhupada mentioned Mr. Nair. He told the devotees, we will have another ISKCON in the spiritual world. But Mr. Nair will not be there because he gave so much trouble to the devotees and to Prabhupada, When Prabhupada wanted to build a temple in Mumbai, Juhu, they purchased that land. They made a front payment. And the guy, Nair, was trying to cheat them. He cheated not only the devotees, Prabhupada, many other people gave, a high payment and they didn't get anything. But Prabhupada kept fighting. Devotees were bewildered. They said, why is Prabhupada so attached to this land? It was so difficult, so much problems, court cases, and so many, they came and destroyed the wall they were building, and with the municipality had a lot of influence, the man, He was a big cheater, actually, a rascal. But Prabhupada revealed his mind. He said, I'm not attached to this land. The reason I'm fighting this because I installed the deity of the Lord, Krishna, in this land, and I promise him, I will make you a temple here. That's the only reason I'm fighting. Because I made a promise to the Lord. It's my duty to fulfill it, So I can't give up fighting these people, And went on for for some few years, the fighting. Finally, the man died. Prabhupada was happy. When Hiranyakashipu died, all the demigods were happy because he was causing so much difficulty to everyone in the universe, So once Prabhupada visited his Guru Maharaj in Mayapur, Navadvip, and from the balcony, he was telling one disciple, there is an evil snake, kill it. Prabhupada was shocked, that his Guru was asking a disciple to kill a snake. He could not understand. Of course, was a poisonous snake. Of course, you know how to know which snake is poison, which is not. The non-poisonous snake, the eye is round shaped, and the poisonous one is like elongated. Yeah. Got a tip? Hare Krishna. So don't kill non-poisonous snake, only the poisonous one. Ben Prabhupada found the shloka and the shastra that say that even saintly person, they become happy if a scorpion or a poisonous snake is killed, So, because they're harmful, envious entity, without reason they may harm you, so it's okay to kill them. No? You know the story? That once a scorpion wanted to cross a river. So he told the crocodile, take me on your back to the other side. Crocodile said, well, I don't trust you, you're a scorpion. You can bite me on the way. But Scorpion said, if I do that, I will drown in the river. So what is the use for me to do that? I'm not going to do it, Please help me with that, Okay. So he climbed in the back, and in the middle of the way, he bited the crocodile. Crocodile said, you're going to die along with me. What can I do? That's my nature. The scorpion said. So this the nature of envious people is very difficult to change. Even if they harm themselves, doing kind of things, harming others, they don't mind. Because they are so envious. So this enviousness and this malice and all these things can be washed away only if a person practices Bhakti Yoga. Because when the practice of Bhakti Yoga, the heart becomes purified. And when the heart stops becoming purified, all these bad feelings, all this enviousness and malice, and they're washed away. There's one story of one thief. He wanted to stop being a thief, so he was repentant. So he decided to go on pilgrimage, to visit holy places, become purified, associate with devotees, stop stealing. He wanted to do that. So he went with a group of pilgrims around holy places in India, And after, like a few weeks, they stayed the night in the Dharmashala. Dharmashala is a place for pilgrims. They can rest there for the night and keep going next day, stay a couple days, whatever. And that night, he could not sleep. He was feeling itching in his hand. He needed to steal something, because of bad habit, very strong bad habit. But he was trying to control himself, He said, no, I don't want to do that, But anyway, he couldn't sleep, so he did something. Next day, all the pilgrims were fighting each other. Why do you have my bag? But you also have my bag. And each other have different bags, not the same bag next to them, the night they slept. So they were accusing each other of stealing each other's property. There was a big fight. So the thief, he calmed them down. Please, let me explain. All this is my fault. I'm a thief by profession. I'm trying to give it up. Last night I couldn't sleep. I didn't steal anything from you. I just changed the bag's location to calm my mind so I could sleep, So please forgive me. He asked forgiveness, humbly. They understood. They forgave him, that bad habit sometimes is very strong, It's like second nature. That's why it's very important to be alert and uproot the bad habit from the beginning. If you let it grow too high, more difficult to give it up, So it's very important. Spiritual life, the gardener of the creeper of devotional service must be alert to take away the weeds on time before they grow too much. So we have to work on that and pray for the mercy of the Lord and do our best effort, to make spiritual advancement, to overcome our weaknesses and enviousness. Prabhupada gave example of enviousness. 3 friends talking about another friend, from their childhood. About Srinivas? Yeah, our friend from childhood. What about him? Oh, do you know he became a judge in the court? Big judge. Really? No, can't be. No, I saw with my own eyes coming with out of a big car with a driver and everything. Oh, they must be paying him very little, maybe. Not much. So they can't tolerate that he's in a better situation than them, That's the materialistic mentality. They can't tolerate, Welcome, Hare Krishna. So that's the perfect prayer of a pure devotee. He's praying, please, my Lord, change the mind of those envious people. Let them be pacified, And when they become devotees, they will desire each other's welfare, And that's all about Krishna consciousness. Try to help others become better people, better persons, Good-willing to each and everyone, And that's not easy. It's a risky job, actually. You see the story of Jesus Christ was crucified because he was speaking about God. And Haridas Thakur was, beaten in 21 markets just because he was chanting the holy name. That's all his fault, But envious people can't tolerate that, Very difficult for them to see others happy, even spiritually. There are some materialistic people. I was told the story that Giriraj Maharaj was offered $1 million to give up Krishna consciousness. Is that true? Yeah, by his own father. Of course, he didn't do it. Then the father understood that this is a serious commitment, a real commitment. I know about another sannyasi, I'm not going to mention his name. One, who? No. Let me tell the story. Be patient on me, please. His uncle was a very rich man, millionaire. So he offered him, okay, here is a glass of whiskey and a stick. You take both of them, I will give you a check of $1 million. And so as he said, can we make a deal? Only the whiskey, Give me the half of it. The man said, no, the all deal or nothing. Of course, he didn't do it, but I meant to say, he was willing to do, half of the offer. Okay, money will be used on Krishna's service, of course, I meant to say. Anyway, so of course, we should not compromise, Sometimes new devotees, they compromise because they're invited to a party and they are offered some little wine, and because of the social pressure, they may accept a little or something. But that's not good, We should not do it. We are not meant to please others, but to please Krishna, That's the fact. If that doesn't please Krishna, why should I do it? Just to please some other people because they want me to do it? Why should I? So we should be convinced like that, not to accept any pressure to do things we don't want actually to do. Just to please other people. Our main concern is how can we act in such a way that Krishna is pleased with us? Like devotees in Australia asked Prabhupada, when we go out chanting on the street, what can we do to attract more people's attention, to the chanting, Prabhupada said, don't worry about that. Just worry that your chanting is pleasing to Krishna. And if it's pleasing to Krishna, people will also be pleased, naturally. But your main concern that Krishna is happy. He's already happy. He's never unhappy. But when Krishna sees his parcel suffering in this world, indirectly this is also his suffering too, because we are part of him. So that's why Krishna comes personally, comes as Lord Chaitanya, sends his representative to deliver, the suffering people in this world. Why? Because love. There is love there. There's compassion, So we have to share this compassion. Prabhupada told us that the same day he arrived in the temple in Caracas, Venezuela, he said, now you got the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, now you are very fortunate. Now distribute the good fortune to everyone. Don't keep it for yourself. Share it. Prabhupada gave an example that if a scientist discovers some cure of a disease, he will not keep it for himself. He wants to share it with everyone, to get the benefit. So in the same way, Prabhupada told his godbrother, Dr. Kapoor, he told him, I discovered the formula how to go back home, back to God in this very life. And I'm gonna to share it with everyone. I want to give it to everyone. Dr. Kapoor said, please, I also want to be, give it to me too, And Prabhupada says, simple formula. We have to wear, a mala, a garland around our neck of this shloka by Mahaprabhu. Trinadapi sunichena taror api sahishnuna amanina manadina kirtaniya sadahari. We have to wear this garland around our neck all the time. That's the formula. You have to live it. Please give the mic to our dear. Please do.
More humble than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree. To think all praise belongs to others. None belongs to me. Such qualities attract the Lord to bless one with the power to chant his name incessantly until the final hour.
Wonderful, thank you. I made one of the same shloka in Spanish. Actually, it's a song, and Chitsukana Prabhu, he made music to it, Mexican music. And I put the wording, and we play it on the stages, in Ratha-yatras and things. People love it, Okay, I can please your Maharaj. Para cantar siempre el santo nombre, hay que ser humilde como la hierba, que el viento lleva de un lado a otro, sin poner alguna resistencia. Para cantar siempre el santo nombre, hay que ser tolerante como el árbol, que sobrelleva el viento y la lluvia y nos da su fruto sin quejarse. Así es el árbol de tolerante. Para cantar siempre el santo nombre, hay que estar libre de vanidad, respetando a todos sin nada a cambio. Así es la verdadera humildad. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We keep chanting Muhammad. And people love it because...
Even in Spanish. Your singing had potency even in Spanish.
Hare Krishna. This is Mahaprabhu shloka, So has a spiritual potency. I will give you the translation. To chant always the holy name, one should be humbler than straw in the street, that the wind takes it one way or the other and doesn't put any resistance. To chant always the holy name, one should be as tolerant as a tree, because the tree tolerates the winds and the rain and still gives shade and fruit. One should be also, to chant always the holy name, we have to be free of that's the word, vanity, offering respect to all others without expecting any respect. That's the way of humility. That is translation. I hope you like it. Hare Krishna. Very good. So, any comment, questions? Okay. First here.
One little quick comment on that Trinadapi Sunichena.
Yes.
So there was some issue whether it was Trinadapi Sunichena Todor Eva Sahishnana or Stohar Api Sahishnana.
Yes.
Anyone?
Yeah, we discussed that.
Yeah. So Prabhupada would always say Todor Api Sahishnana.
Yes.
And but when I worked on the CC, you see in the text of the CC it said Eva Sahishnana. And so I said, what should we do? What was it? So I inquired from my advisors, my Sanskrit and Bengali man, and I always consulted. It was Gopi Pranadhana Prabhu and then the other one, Kishore. And we did research in Pajavali. Pajavali is the source of that. That's where all the verses are. And was always Api. So how did it become Eva in the book? Mm-hmm. Because the difference between Eva and Api is Eva is like a tree, but Api is more than a tree.
That's
more tolerant than a tree. More
tolerant than a tree.
Which is the way, yeah. So it's now universally Api.
So who changed it to Eva then?
That's a mystery.
Anyway. So it's Api, we know now. Okay. Any other comment, questions? Yes.
Maharaj, thanks for the wonderful class. So in the last line of the purport, like Prabhupada quotes Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, it says that it's impossible that all living entities are delivered, and if one set of living entities are delivered by Krishna consciousness movement, another set will fill the entire universe. So does it mean like jivas like continue like to fall, or how?
Innumerable means uncountable. You can't count how many jivas are there, So it seems that not all jivas comes all at the same time, apparently. They may be in the state of sleep maybe in the body of Mahavishnu, I mean, remember the pastime of great devotee of Lord Chaitanya. He prayed the Lord that please give me the karma of all living entity in the universe so they can go to Vaikuntha. Let me suffer eternally in hell. I don't mind. I will be happy to do that. I can't tolerate seeing so many people suffering in this world, What was his name? Huh? Vasudev Datta. He was not just showing off, he was really wanted to do it, He was so compassionate, so full of love for every living entity, He was praying like that. Let me go for hell eternally, but let the whole universe be freed from this suffering and go to the spiritual world, Vaikuntha. And Lord Chaitanya appreciated very much his feelings, And he said, and he told him, there is no need for you to do that. I mean, you see, there are many seeds in the banyan tree. If one of the fruit falls, what is the loss for the banyan tree? Nothing. So if one universe is vacated, what is the loss for Krishna? It's nothing. But don't worry, it will be filled back again. They may come from other universes. We don't know all the details of how is that going to happen. But the point is, from an unlimited number of living entities, it's 100 millions, they go Vaikuntha. The number diminish. If the number is unlimited, they still remain unlimited. But it's the desire of the Vaishnavas to help others get out of this miserable condition, by becoming devotees. So,
I could add a footnote.
Please do.
A footnote to your excellent answer. Prabhupada said that living entities are always coming and going.
Yeah.
And there's so many in the spiritual world, just like you're saying, few are falling because it's a fluid process. So it's not that they all come at once, and if you empty it, they'll all go back.
Yeah, we don't know.
Prabhupada says they're coming and going.
Yeah, we don't know all the details, of course, how that exactly happened. But
want to find out.
we don't want to find out either. We want to find a way how to help them go to their real home, to the spiritual world. Yes.
One other comment. This came up actually in a conversation between Haridas Thakur and Lord Chaitanya, where Lord Chaitanya was in great anxiety about how all these people are going to be saved, and Haridas Thakur said, when you were dancing and chanting through Jharkhand, and all of the animals were singing, and then there was an echo, but it really wasn't an echo. It was the trees and the other living entities also responding.
Yeah.
So the idea is that even if many go back, or those who are conscious, there's these undeveloped living entities will come up and take their place. In other words, there's living entities, and as many atoms, there's living entities with each of them, because there's a super soul there and everywhere. Wherever the super soul is the soul. So there's all kinds of living entities, and they'll take place. So don't have to worry. The universe will not be.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, if they are coming from Vaikuntha or coming from some other universe or whatever, The important thing is that there are innumerable living entities, and they want to enjoy this material world. So make Krishna make room for everyone, give facility to everyone. But the desire of the Vaishnavas is to help love everyone, to help them, regain their original Krishna consciousness. Like sometimes people, why there are more people now than before, But Middle Ages were less people living in the planet. Now so many millions of people living there. I tell them the story, funny story, that King Akbar asked his minister Birbal, not him, that he asked all the ministers, any of you can tell me how many crows are there in Agra? They look at each other, how can we know? One you don't ask Birbal, he must know. He's very clever, he must know. And Birbal very confident say, yes, I know. 2,355 crows. They were shocked, How do you know? If we count them, if there are less, maybe some of them came to visit their neighbors and their friends in Delhi. And if there are more, some of their friends from Delhi went to visit them in Agra, That was a very clever answer. For a foolish question, foolish answer, or clever answer, whatever. So I mean to say, people coming from lower planets, from animal life, what's up from the heavenly planets falling to this planet, it's moving all the way, up and down.
Out of different species.
Different species, it's going movement all the time, So anyway, Krishna has a perfect plan, where everyone should go, at what time, Perfect planning, He never make any mistake, because he's in the heart of everyone. He knows everyone's desires and actions and everything. So everything is being taken care of perfectly. Of course, we sometimes make a big mess of everything, and pay bad karma for that. But that's also being taken care of.
I was just going to say, speaking on this theme of the universe emptying and then filling up again, and when Prabhupada said, don't worry about, our goal is to deliver them wherever they came from, whatever they're. Prabhupada said, was talking about there'll always be living entities. He said, don't worry, there's no unemployment problem for ISKCON.
Yeah.
There'll always be living entities that need to be delivered. Don't worry.
To help, yes, definitely. There's one story in the Gita Mahatmya that one great devotee, his father was killed by dacoits. The father was a very materialistic person, so he became a ghost, So since his father then came back, he thought maybe my father was attacked because he was a rich man, So he wanted to go to Gaya to offer oblation for the soul of his father. And on the way, he stopped in the forest under a tree and started chanting the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And suddenly he saw the ghost of his father there. And the ghost told him, "Oh, my dear son, since I was a sinful person, I was killed here under this tree by dacoits, and they robbed all my money. And since I was a sinful man, I became a ghost. But now, by hearing you recite in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, thanks to you, I'm going back to Vaikuntha now." And he took a 4-armed form, went to Vaikuntha. But before he left, he told the son, "My dear son, your uncle also is suffering in hell right now. Please chant the Bhagavad Gita for his spiritual welfare, And other family members also there, So do something for them." So devotee agreed, and he went to the Keshava temple in Mathura and sat there and was reciting Bhagavad Gita too. He thought, why only my family members? I should help all other living entities in hell too. And came the point that nobody was left in hell. So Yamaraj went to Lord Vishnu, said, "I'm out of job, what to do, Vishnu told, "Don't worry, very soon we'll be filled back again." Meantime, chant Hare Krishna. Chant the holy name. So there are more sinful people than pious people in the universe, So that's why Yamaraj is the most busy demigod of all. That's why he was given a break as Vidura to go out, on pilgrimage and preach, vacation, spiritual vacation, to meet Lord Krishna personally, Anyway, thank you very much. Yes, one question in Zoom, yes. Go ahead.
Yes, Maharaj, may I?
Please do.
Maharaj, why is it that there is no peace of mind for an envious person?
Because an envious person can't have peace of mind because he's always thinking of harming others or desire that others be worse than him. Because an envious person, if he's somebody suffering, "Oh, I'm better now. I'm not suffering like him." So he feels, "Okay, I'm better now." But if see somebody better than him, he feels bad. He's better than me. So they can't tolerate that. So that's why they can't have peace of mind, because all the time they are comparing themselves to others and, feeling enviousness of each other. So how can they be peaceful? Impossible. Only a devotee can be peaceful because he doesn't envy anyone. He always well-wisher to everyone, That's the only way to be peaceful,
One final comment.
Yes.
Just on the word envy, because I had to deal with this. In Western parlance in America, normally that means, and Prabhupada would use it that way, jealous of someone else.
Yeah.
But it also means, and these are not mutually exclusive, to bear malice toward. Because I remember reading in, I think, the Krishna book, one should not be envious even of an ant. Well, who is envious of an ant? What does an ant have? In other words, one should not bear malice, one should be kind, not question.
Not to step on the ant.
Two meanings in Prabhupada. It's from the English.
Not to harm anyone, That means not being envious of anyone, means you don't want to. Remember the story of Mrigari. He will enjoy killing the animals to see them suffering, And when he became a devotee, he wanted to pay obeisance to his Guru Narad Muni, but he saw some ants and he didn't want to harm them. He was moving them aside, softly, And Narad Muni was happy to see that my disciple became so soft-hearted, he doesn't want to harm even an ant now. That means free of envy, You don't want to harm any other living entity, Thank you, Rabindranath Prabhu. Thanks, everyone. Any last question? Please do. I'm here. Okay. Yes. Tell me, remind me, please.
7 p.m.
Today, 7 p.m., we have a home program.
YouTube channel they can watch.
You can see it in the YouTube channel.
And what about the Sunday program?
And the Sunday program is also at 5:30 Aarti and 6 lecture. And Monday, 7 p.m., Bhagavad Gita lecture.
Okay.
Please attend, either personally or virtually, where you are most welcome. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanandi.